Thank you, Dr. Nasir. Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, industry partners, and fellow professionals, a warm good morning to all of you. It's indeed an honor to address this esteemed gathering at the AMOPA conference. And the theme of this year's conference, Building Ammunition Ecosystems for Self-Reliant and Future-Ready India, could not have been more relevant. As we navigate an evolving security landscape and prepare for increasing high-tempo warfare scenarios, the importance of an integrated indigenous ammunition ecosystem has not become just strategic, but empirical. Recently, the United States Department of Defense raised concerns regarding the alarming gap between the pace of ammunition consumption in contemporary conflicts and the ability of even advanced industrial complexes to replenish the stock. This concern has triggered a global reassessment of stockpiling doctrines, industrial readiness, and the need for scalable and resilient supply chains. The conflicts in Ukraine and the Israel-Gaza region have laid bare the ferocity and the intensity with which ammunition is expended during sustained operations. In Ukraine, artillery shells and guided munitions have been used at unprecedented rates, while Israel's requirement for rapid and precise replenishment during its engagement highlighted the absolute necessity for real-time, high-volume ammunition production. These conflicts underscore one undeniable fact: a robust, self-sustaining ammunition production capability is no more a necessity, it's an imperative. In the Indian context, our defense and security environment is complex and challenging. We face a spectrum of threats, from conventional to asymmetric and hybrid. In such a scenario, our deterrence capability and operational effectiveness are intensely linked to the various diversity and reliability of our ammunition stockpiles. Yet, our current ecosystem is marked by serious shortfalls. India has historically relied on imported ammunition and foreign technology, which, while useful in short term, introduces strategic vulnerabilities, especially during crisis when the international supply chains may be disrupted or politically constrained. The government's initiative under Atmanirbhar Bharat and the reforms introduced in the Defense Acquisition Procedure 2020 have provided the impetus to move from a buyer to becoming a builder. However, intent alone will not suffice. Transforming India into a munition powerhouse demands a layered and structured approach, one that promotes robust, user-driven research and development, encourages private sector participation, integrates SMEs, and ensures long-term procurement commitment by the services to sustain industrial capability, which is the challenge, and we are working out as to how to increase the MOQ as far as possible. In weapons and armament, the focus must not remain restricted to conventional munitions. We must gear ourselves to meet the demands of tomorrow's battlefield. Intelligent ammunition, hypersonic projectiles, loitering munitions, electronic warfare-capable shells, and network-enabled weapon systems must form the backbone of our future capabilities. But to get there, we must first address the pressing gaps in our current ammunition ecosystem. A major limitation in meeting the armed forces requirement is the lack of complete know-how among industrial production agencies. Many defense PSUs and private players continue to depend on original equipment manufacture for essential design and manufacturing data. In many cases, semi-knockdown or fully knockdown kits are merely assembled in India, offering little value in terms of capacity building. This severely constrains innovation, prevents learning, and delays the emergence of truly indigenous capabilities. To bridge this gap, we need to have a coordinated national approach involving government, industry, and academia. We must invest in building indigenous research and development capability, create center of excellences for ammunition development, establish dedicated funds for private sector research. More importantly, DPUC and private industry must be equipped with the necessary design knowledge, infrastructure, technical competence to become independent producers, not just assemblers. Another serious concern is the outdated infrastructure and lack of modernization in our traditional ordnance factories. These factories have not kept pace with contemporary manufacturing standards. A majority of the processes remain manual, leading to low productivity, quality inconsistencies, and safety concerns. Repeatedly, issues have been flagged by the services regarding the quality and reliability of unguided bombs. Varying sizes, shapes regarding these bombs have made unreliable in operations. Moreover, the Secretary DP had covered a major incident in Bandara serves a stark reminder of the risk associated with manual handling of explosives. Delays in meeting delivery timelines, even during recently concluded Operation Sindoor, further underscores the urgent need of modernization. We must therefore upgrade our manufacturing infrastructure, institute rigorous quality control frameworks, and streamline logistic processes to reduce the delivery lags. Additionally, we must identify and earmark production responsibilities among select private and public sector agencies for key components such as propellants, explosives, thermal batteries, electronic assemblies, and guidance subsystems. By assigning roles based on capacity and capability, we can establish a layered manufacturing architecture capable of scaling up during emergencies. One of the most significant gaps remains in indigenous production of sensors, which are vital components in today's precision-guided munition. Currently, no Indian firm has fully developed a sensor based on infrared or imaging infrared or radio frequency or laser technologies. These are imported in semi-knock conditions and then integrated. To overcome, we must standardize sensor designs for cross-platform applicability and promote subsystem integration across different ammunition and missile systems. Establishing center of excellence for subsystems and empowering production agencies to handle such components will be essential for future self-reliance. With warfare shifting, I want you to listen carefully to this, warfare shifting towards standoff and non-contact engagements, India must focus on developing a new generation ammunition suited for these domains. We must work with global partners such as Israel and Russia to jointly develop these systems under well-regulated technology sharing ventures. Encouragingly, we have models like BrahMos Aerospace Private Limited, along with Russia, Kalyani Rafale Air Advanced System with Rafale, and Indo-Russian Rifle Private Limited with Kalashnikov. But most such collaborations are required importantly, and these JVs must be empowered to stock beyond contracted qualities to build up surge capability. A key obstacle for all the industry partners remains the restricted nature of defense licensing. Most Indian OEMs are allowed to import components only against a specific Ministry of Defense order. This restricts flexibility, innovation, and continuity of production. To fix this, we need to relax licensing for both import and exports. Indian firms must be allowed to pursue research and development, product development, even without immediate orders. This will boost indigenous capacity and open up export markets, reduce the trade deficit, and promote strategic autonomy. Initiatives are being taken by the Government of India in relaxing these licensing policies. Reforming our quality assurance and certification agencies and testing framework is equally essential. The current system, including certification and quality assurance processes, need to be made more transparent, accountable, very important, and industry-friendly. The practice of nominating specific DPSUs for high-value systems by a competitive merit-based process has been already proposed in the interministerial meeting on augmenting indigenous defense manufacturing and enhancing defense exports. So this is a good news for all the industry partners. Similarly, the design engineering representative scheme, which CEMILAC has started, needs to be expanded and complemented by third-party certifiers. India urgently needs more environmental and qualification testing facilities, especially in private hands. Setting up testing infrastructure in the defense corridor will greatly ease the development cycle for new systems. Further, we need to encourage private sector players to undertake their own research and development and design and development initiatives. Currently, DRDO carries the entire burden of product development, often leading to project delays. Instead, DRDO should act as a pure research body, while design and development must be transferred to the industry and academia partnership. Like the DAPA model in USA, India must institute mission-oriented research and development cells that evaluate outcomes rigorously and discard non-viable projects swiftly. A similar whole of industry model is already followed in France and Israel. For instance, ELTA specializes in radar systems across multiple platforms in Israel, while in France, Dassault integrates avionics from Thales and weapons from MBDA. Such role clarity allows these industries to scale, specialize, and innovate something new. India must emulate the same model. Academic institutions must be roped into this national effort. IITs and other engineering institutions should be given specific mandates to carry out long-term technology development. DRDO must work closely with this academia to convert lab-scale research models into deployment defense products. More critically, we must invest in building intellect in armament science. Currently, there is no formal education or training program in India for ammunition or weapon system, design, testing, and reverse engineering. This gap must be addressed if we are to build a lasting self-reliance. Ladies and gentlemen, ammunition is just not a consumable, it is a strategic asset. Its availability in peace and war determines whether a nation wins or loses the war. As we gather here to deliberate, let's be clear in our collective purpose. Our objective is simply not to indigenous production. Our mission is to ensure strategic sovereignty, a state in which we can design, develop, produce, and supply critical ammunition independently, quickly, and reliably. We must move beyond assembling foreign kits and step boldly in the era of design-led, innovation-driven, and export-driven Indian ammunition. This requires collective effort. The services, the DRDO, the industry, the academia, the government, or the policymakers, all working together in synergy. I'm confident that forums like this will produce not only idea, but produce partnerships, prototypes, and production lines. Let's ensure that India is just not ready for the next conflict, but she's prepared to fight in her own terms with her own indigenous technology. Jai Hind.